Hello and welcome back to another episode of serde-yaml. It's Byron speaking, and I've been a bit sick, and I also have been quite lazy, and I now try to get back into the game here and I'm going to implement YAML serialization and deserialization. This episode is mainly about, doing some planning, ramping it up really gently, basically, so no code is going to be written here. But yeah, let's think about a possible approach vectors to solve that problem. So the problem I see here, the issues that are in my head that put some fear into my head as well, is that first, I don't know the serde code base at all yet, so I have to get into that. Even though I don't think it's going to be super difficult, but it's something you have to learn. So it's one kind of unknown that needs to be made known. And the other thing is, of course, YAML. YAML, implementing this is, I think there are simpler formats like JSON, for instance, but YAML is so incredibly flexible to be human readable that the respective lexers and parsers are, I guess, more complex and need more special handling. And to do that, I guess that's also not gonna be super easy to do, but also an interesting thing. Once in your life, you should probably implement a YAML parser in a language of your choice. So that's the two things here, the two big unknowns. I think the YAML part is the more unknown issue here. But yeah, so I guess to get started, to get into the serde code base, what you want to do is really write the serialize. Oh, look, I did that already. Awesome. So the first milestone here is serialization support. See, I have been off the project for like 10 days now, and I'm not looking at the internet very much during that time, just because I've been busy just checking settings here. Yeah, because I've been busy playing a computer game and playing the sick, poor programmer. But I think now it's definitely time. So this is it. Let's have a new issue here. And which one would it be for serialization support? I definitely want to work on issues, but the serialization support is kind of the milestone. I don't know how to split it up, basically. Because, let's have a look at the JSON implementation. So that's the serialization one. Look, there's not much stuff going on, and actually I copied that over already into the YAML one here. So sir and mod. Oh, that's the one. Let's try not to confuse things here. I guess I just want to test this, right? Interestingly, valid JSON is also valid YAML. So in theory, I could leave this unchanged and I would have a good, I would have valid YAML already. But of course, we want to make it user-friendly or human readable. So we want to make it YAML style. I guess I also want to set up, you know what? I think I want to set up some sort of testing. I want to be able to test this properly. And this is something that's basically worth a ticket, right? So allow testing YAML output, YAML serialization output. Complicated way for something very simple. We just want to serialize stuff and verify it's correct. Consider using the existing pure Python implementation as reference for the desired output. So that's also something I definitely want to have for the deserialization part. That's going to be, there's going to be I'm certainly able to split that problem into very, very small steps that say, deserialize a number, deserialize a string, and stuff like that. Even though doing this is, especially the string part, is kind of complex in itself. However, it should be possible. And then I definitely want to compare it against the respective result of the respective Python implementation, at least for the non-error cases. Just to be sure I do it correctly. I will obviously read, where is it? the YAML.org. There's a spec 1.2 here. This is kind of my guide to this. This is going to be my rule book. This is what I'm going to take, and basically everything that's mentioned here in the documentation or in the examples, every single thing here I want to be able to parse, right? And every single bubble that you see here, I want to have as a test case and make sure I get this right. This is how it's going to be. So there's going to be a lot of testing going on, or a lot of regression testing basically. So at the end of this, I can be sure that I do it correctly. At least for the small cases. Sure, there can still be something wrong for the big ones. However, that's kind of my plan here. All right, let's set this up. This is something that should be relatively easy to do here, even though, it's very, very, very rough. It's just a tiny ticket here. Because I have no clue yet how this is supposed to be, right? I have no idea, to be honest. So yeah, documentation. So this is, I just make a ticket here just so that I don't forget it, because this is the to-do here. GitHub link to file. What? This is not, I don't have an upstream branch yet. That said, serde-yaml, here we are. Git push. I think if I push this here, I should be able to set up a stream automatically, and then I can copy a link to the file. Awesome. And place this here. Fill in docs for serialization. For YAML serialization. So that's at least the part that is relevant here. Oops, nope, not this one. See this file. So that's kind of the only place where I have documentation. Very similar to the way the JSON is implemented, or the JSON serialization, deserialization is implemented. So like this, yeah. So that should be looking relatively good. Okay, it's getting somewhere now. And we have the testing. And once there's the testing, we should have the tests or the test should fail. They're expected to fail, because this kind of, I copy pasted this, right? So that's going to be nothing more but JSON coming out of here. So that has to be YAML then. And have to be sure UTF-8 Unicode stuff is handled properly. So I have no idea how this is working. Look at that. Visit enum sequence. So here is where we would probably enter or probably increment some sort of indentation. Yeah, YAML is indentation based, or can be indentation based. Let's just say it like this. So white space is relevant for YAML. So we have to get this right, and I have no idea how that would work here. Probably you want to have some sort of indentation level as state. So that we can handle this correctly. Interesting. Serializer. Yeah, okay, so that's not the time now to look at the code, kind of. All right, and of course, let's just put it in. Serialize a document YAML style, or a structure. A structure YAML style. Assure the structure has all the different, or contains everything supported by YAML, like numbers, strings, null, what else? Sequences, dicts. Yeah, and the cool thing is that, and of course, we want to be able to support options. Sure, yeah. And this is kind of, I don't know if it's a separate ticket. I don't want to spawn too many tickets here because that's kind of just postponing the inevitable, which is you actually have to work on that. Just making tickets isn't gonna fix a thing here. Just gonna state the obvious. So I don't like kind of what I'm doing because I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of the rough thing. Let's just phrase it here. We might split it up into tickets later. Don't forget to support various options. So instead of a pretty print support kind of thing, I want to just have two ways to do this. Just one quick and dirty function that doesn't have any options, that just produces YAML the way you would expect it, and another one that supports all kinds of options, like how should it look like? It could serialize JSON or YAML in JSON style, for instance. And this is something you should be able to say. Also, I'd like to support the pruning of null values right away, and all this is not supported by the JSON implementation right now, and it didn't look so easy either. So here we have to think about something as well at some point. Yeah, and so there's lots of stuff going on here. Also, we might want to, the JSON value that is there is something, or the JSON value in the JSON implementation is something we might want to have for the YAML one as well. And it's kind of all the same. It's very similar to the way I think of it. And yeah, let's see how that goes. Probably lots of stuff pops up, so I'm not gonna do any more issues here. That's it. I think that's a good foundation of kind of what we want to have in the serialization support thingy. And the deserialization support is going to be, I'll think about it once the serialization is clean, and in that time I will also get acquainted with the sort code base that I currently do not know at all. But as I said before, I don't think it's going to be a huge troublemaker here. Limitations. Oh. Yeah, right now we can't do shit, basically. All right. I think that is that. Just 12 minutes as a starter. I'll be back with some actual work here. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.